What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Karen Oliver, and welcome to Inside HQ. We're coming to you straight from World of Dance headquarters, but this podcast isn't about what goes on inside of these walls. It's about the amazing people on the outside who are building the movement, shaping the culture, and keeping the community alive. I'm so excited to introduce today's guest, Marie Poppins.
Hi, guys.
Yeah! Marie has had ample experience in the dance world, including, but not limited to, she is a judge for Hip Hop International. She is represented by Clear Talent. She is a dancer who has performed and been a part of projects with Justin Bieber, Busta Rhymes, Madonna, Vogue magazine. We also have The Weeknd, and many, many more. She is also the co-founder of Femme Fatale, right? And she is a member of the one and only House of Ninja. Huge fan. Humongous fan.
Thank you.
When I found out, I was like, wow, I get to speak to her. Wow, this is amazing. I'm super grateful to have you here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Do you want to give them a little bit of an introduction to who you are and what you do?
Sure. So I'm Marie Poppins. I'm a dancer, choreographer. And I've been dancing almost my whole life. My main styles are popping, voguing, street styles in general.
Mm-hmm.
I became a professional dancer pretty late. I didn't know that it would be my path,
Mm-hmm.
that I was not planning on being a professional dancer. And I think opportunities came to me especially when I moved to the United States, and here I am.
And here you are.
Yeah.
And also, for those of you that don't know, Marie is very much international. You come from France, correct?
Yes, I'm French. I'm French and now American. Now I have dual citizenship, so it's cool.
The goal.
But yeah, I'm from France originally, yeah.
Yes, incredible. It's always so refreshing to meet people that have that international experience. Can you tell the audience a little bit about your specific style? Would you be able to describe your style in 3 words?
My style in 3 words. I would say power, technical, and with a little bit of grace, elegance, I would say. Little French style to it. Yes.
Love that. How was your introduction to the dance world? How did you find your passion for dance?
So I was dancing since I was a kid. I started with like ballet, jazz, but somehow until like 16, 17, I couldn't really find my voice within those styles. I was kind of like following. And then I think it was around 17, I've discovered street dance, especially locking, breaking, like. At my time, you were like trying to figure out all the different styles, and I had friends that introduced me to it, and we started practicing together, and we would copy music videos, and we were trying to get informations that were coming from the US, and it was fun. And just in general, street dance and hip hop, I really fell in love with that, and I just love the community aspect of it, and I love that you could just come as you are with your differences. That was actually your superpower. Mm-hmm. So I do regret that I didn't catch up with ballet and jazz. Like I wish I would have, kept both, but I really fell in love with that world. Beyond the dance, all the elements of hip hop, like, graffiti, DJing, and seeing all this, this whole world was just, new, and like, I love how we could like build relationship with each other and have fun, have a good time. And then when you find out that some of your favorite artists like Michael Jackson learned from people that were doing popping, then you're like, okay, well, a lot of my favorite singers and talents have been doing these styles, have been doing hip hop, and it makes sense, So yeah, and then after that, like I said, like I was not planning on doing something professional. To be honest, I was far from being the best. I was good, but we would have bet on other of my friends at that time. Like really, like some of them, you're like, okay, she's gonna dance with I don't know, Missy Elliott and so on. Me, I was like, okay, I just enjoy. But then when I moved to the US, that's when I moved to the US actually for school. like because I did a business school, so I wanted to go for like, you know, trying to find a career outside of dance. But then, you know, when I moved here, it's like I don't know, the vibe changed, like my mentality changed, and then I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. And popping is a style that I thought I would never be able to do. Like I was like, it looks too hard. Like, so I think I would do more locking, I would do more breaking. I'm not really good at breaking either, but you know, other styles, but somehow popping got my attention more because I just love like how you could show the beat like at a high level, you know. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Is there a specific moment you remember where popping really found you found popping, and you really found that love? And I mean, it's in the name, you know, it's Marie Poppins for a reason. So what was that specific moment for yourself?
So when I was when I started, now that I'm thinking about it, I was like 17, and there was this girl, like she was doing some popping and waving and movement. It was crazy, but to me it looked so far from what I could do, and I was always fascinated by that. But so it was my first introduction to it. And then once someone told me, hey, you know, in the music video Thriller, the people behind the Michael Jackson, they do popping. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I got obsessed with that music video, and, you know, the electric boogaloos being behind the artist. And I'm like, I'm so obsessed with this. And I was always obsessed with, like, you know, mechanical movement, like stops, illusional forms. And that was my first like glimpse, you know, my first inspirations. And then after that, when I moved to the US, there's so many people that inspired me. There is a dancer called Pandora, who was my mentor. Like, there was a video of Pandora in a park at that time when we only had YouTube. It was a video of her in a park, and she was killing it. Like, and watching a girl doing popping style and tutting style was crazy. Everybody know that video because, you know, at that time that's what we had, you know, was YouTube. And I was like, one day I'm gonna meet her, I'm gonna train with her and dance with her. So when I moved to LA, I got to meet her. She was super sweet, and then she taught me a lot, you know. And then we ended up dancing together, working together. So that was really cool. And then my other, those are my inspirations, like the electric boogaloos, Pandora. There's another dancer that I saw. His name is Slim Boogie. The first time I saw him in the club, I was like, I want to do this. Like, he inspired me to like get better in these styles.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I mean, I think that having tools like YouTube and like social media platforms is super important, because we are really able to find these amazing people that inspire us at all times.
Yeah.
And I think it really shapes the pathways that we start exploring within our dance and within our artistry. So it's really cool to get to hear other people's perspectives, and what was that original moment for them that really sparked the start of their career. Obviously you're French and you came to the US, and you've mentioned that coming to the US was kind of you getting into really what it is to be a professional dancer in the industry. Have you noticed very distinct cultural differences within your dance training and like your formative years in France versus your dance training and formative years in the US?
Okay, that's a very good question. No one ever asked me that question, but you know, the French culture, what I love about it is very artsy. You know, it's very honest. It's very blunt. You know, we say things, you know, when we don't like something or we like something, we express it a lot. You know, so it's a very expressive country.
Right.
And the US, it has a more positive vibe. You know, it's more, you know, it also had that like quality. It's just a different type of training. When I moved here, it was more fun, a little bit more fun. Again, everybody have their different, you know, experience. But France, when it comes to street dance, it's pretty hardcore. Like, it's really like, you know, it has more of a, like the soccer mentality.
Right.
You know, it's like a battle. I'm not saying it's not serious here, but when I moved here, I liked it because it had something a little bit more laid back. You know, you could learn. You could meet OGs in popping in a barbecue. You could meet people in the club. You know, and it's like it didn't matter who was a big deal or not a big deal. Like personally, for me, it was a little bit easier. And maybe now looking back, it's maybe because France was my country, so I was kind of like pressuring myself.
Yes, absolutely.
And we talk a lot about this with other foreigners, like how much we put pressure on ourselves in our own country. You know, because you grow up with your parents having expectation, and then the scene having expectation, and once you move overseas, it's like it's another you. It's like another personality that unlocks because you care less a little bit of what people think, especially that my English was really bad. So I was just trying to communicate, and you know, people like the French accent. I was not making a big deal of things, you know. So it's just for the new generation. I also want to say that for people who travel to the US, or you know, it's always great to go to another country, no matter the country, just to maybe discover another part of yourself. I don't think I would have maybe made a dance career if I wouldn't have moved from France. Even though France has amazing dancers, if you want to train in foundation, in street dance, and its training is incredible. Some of the best dancers are there, so it's an amazing scene. But the US was bringing something else out of me, and absolutely. I'm very grateful for that. I'm very, very grateful, and you get to learn about yourself, you know, and yeah, training wise, I think every culture has, you know, something good to bring. So just trying to get the best out of everything. And the good thing is living in the US and then coming back to France after like twice a year. I love it because I feel like I appreciate what I'm not getting in the US,
right,
and vice versa.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I, as someone myself, I'm from Mexico originally, so I completely understand what you're saying when you speak on
what city?
Mexico City.
Oh, Mexico City. Okay.
Yeah. So really finding who you are in an environment where you know no one, in a completely new world, and the U.S. is like no other country, and really the opportunities that you find here are difficult to find elsewhere. But at the same time, at times when I go home to Mexico, I get to see those sides that I can't find here, especially more so in the like artistic way and artistic ways that pertain to the specific culture of my hometown and my home country. There's very distinct energies that come with each of them, and it creates like a completely big like mix and match of skills and training and cultures and all of the above.
And it's interesting you say that. Like, I used to live in Mexico actually because I did my master after that in Mexico because I couldn't get an artist visa to move to the US. So it's also for the new generation, know that there is all gems in every country. Even if you dream of being in the US, make the best out of wherever you stay. And try to create your own opportunities so I couldn't get my artist visa. So I moved to Mexico and I was like, okay, I was in Guadalajara. And then that's actually the country that opened arms to me too, where I taught my first workshops. I taught I was still battling there. I got to meet choreographers from the US in Mexico in a more exclusive format, you know, like we got to like exchange, and then I got to see them in the US. So maybe in the US they would have never paid attention to me. I got to judge my first battles in Mexico. I thought the culture was incredible, and I'm just saying that because sometimes I see, for example, my Mexican friends, dancers who are incredible, they look up to the US, but I'm like, you self-sufficient, you know, like just build the scene. There is enough talent in Mexico. If anything, sometimes I look at the training in Latin America, I'm like, whoa, like the training is high, you know? So it was a transition in my life, and then I moved back to the US with an artist visa. But I missed Mexico. I was like, I saw a lot of training. That's the first time I did aerial too. I think a lot of people in Mexico do aerial. yeah, I think sometimes we envy one place for the training, but we don't look at what we have in the space. And yeah. So yeah, I wanted to share.
No, that's amazing. I mean, I completely agree. There's so much talent in Mexico. Yeah. I think one of the main, I wouldn't say problems, but just like, it's just an overall lack of opportunity is just the industry itself and the amount of projects that are possible. And the compensation that is provided within those projects is not as high as the industry here. And it makes it very difficult to live solely off of dance and off of your artistry versus in the US, that's a little bit more possible. So I think that's also a reason why a lot of people decide to like come to the US to find their career in this art form and be able to only focus on that is a blessing. Throughout your training, obviously you've done many styles, and popping is the main style, if I'm correct, right? What made you kind of stick to popping over other styles? Like, what really made you decide, like, of course you found that inspiration through the Thriller music video, but what was the moment when you were like, okay, popping is my thing?
Okay. Well, I just like how you can make the beat visual. Like, I feel like you can, dance is an expression of a sound with movement. And I think popping is kind of like the ultimate for that. Like, you really can show the intensity of the beat, and sometimes, like, I don't know, I don't even have more of an explanation of that. You feel like it's, the first time I took a popping class was in France. And the teacher was like, I can see that you're going to be good at this, so I want to empower you with this. And he empowered me so much. He's the first teacher that told me, like, you should stick to it. And I simply listened to him. And then he wanted to train me. He was giving me so much info. And, sometimes your body assimilates something more easily than another style. And it clicked. The music, I liked funk music. I liked disco. I also like, hard beats, certain hip hop songs. Like, it matched my feeling, if that makes sense. And I think I just decided to trust him. Like, I didn't question more. I was like 17, 18, something like that. But I was still not completely hooked to it. I think I got really hooked when I moved to the US and when I entered Monsters of Hip Hop long time ago. And I did the battle and I went to finals. And I just felt it. I was like, I love this. I really love it just felt warm under the lights, and it felt like I was seen. Yeah. And it felt like I didn't have to express myself with words. So that event in Chicago really changed my mind.
Your perspective. So you're like, this is it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then I like, it's cool. I really admire people who are very versatile and can do many styles. But I think it's also good sometimes to dive into one specific style and see how much you can push. And what is cool with popping is, like, you can incorporate, other things from other styles. So you're not like, I'm not a popper. I would say I'm a dancer who loves the style of popping. But I love house. I love whacking. I love voguing. Popping is the one that came the easiest to me. But it's cool because you can go and learn other things and then incorporate it to that style. Yeah.
As you mentioned, you do a lot of other styles. You do tutting, animation, correct?
Yeah.
You do voguing, whacking, all of the above. And you are also an instructor in most of these styles. Yeah. How does your teaching philosophy kind of shift depending on the style that you're teaching?
That's a very good question too. As an instructor, I have to explain every time, like, okay, today we're going to focus on popping. Today we're going to focus on tutting. Today we're going to focus on animation, because they are still cousin styles, but they still have their own influence, their own music, their own movements, It happens that now when I choreograph, I mix it, when it's a choreography or for a project or something, I like to mix it up. But I think the more you divide the explanation for each style, the better it is for the students to understand. It's kind of like if I teach a class and I'm like, hey, I'm going to teach you French mixed with Portuguese mixed with Spanish. People are going to get a glimpse of it, but they're never going to be able to speak French fluently.
Right.
So I think it's our responsibility as teachers to to stick to what we are teaching. Like if we say, okay, we're going to focus on popping for a full hour, then stick to this. And then I'm trying to separate more the classes. You know, if it's a full tudding class, it will be a full tudding class. It can have influences from other styles. But yeah, like before teaching a choreography, I think it's good to be more specific. It's like, for me, it makes sense. It's like, it's good to mix, it's the freedom of making something with different ingredients. But you need to know the taste of one ingredient fully before, I think, to be a master of something. Yeah. That's my approach to it. And
that analogy with the
languages,
that's a great visual in my head, at least for myself. Because I understand that completely. Sometimes I'll go take a class and it'll be labeled as something, but really it's just a like choreography class where you're just like learning movement and then executing the movement. And at times it's really, especially nowadays, just a big mix of everything into one, which I personally love mixing styles as well. But when you are training, especially in a foundation, it's super important to be able to distinguish what style you're actually focusing in on.
I think it's like also to be understood. Like I think we are trying to be heard and understood when we dance. Like we try to be seen, be heard, and I think sometimes with we could feel ourselves confused, when it's like, am I being heard completely with that language? You can bring, like I said, different languages, but I think either way, no matter what, you're gonna have to come back to a roots and a foundation, to express yourself at the highest. Absolutely. But also it's good also to make a poem with bunch of lines that make sense for you and makes no sense for the rest, and it's fine too. It's art, so
it's exactly. But that's also like, it depends very much on the environment that you're in and the space that you're presenting work in. Whether it's a class setting where you're instructing a student, or it's a performance, or it's a job that you're choreographing for, where it's like you are a little bit more. You have the freedom a little bit to explore and mix and match however you'd like it to. So I think it very much depends on the space.
I think having those techniques, it's very important to not let the technique block you from expressing your arts. I think that's the most important. Like, it's good to be like purist and teach the art from the best way, because you're passing on to what has been passed to you. So we have to do it the best way. And also giving some freedom, because having a high level of technique, the goal is so you can express yourself better. So never leave that pressure of like, oh, I have to be good and I have to have it perfect. Play around, like that's how it evolves too. You're gonna have to give an evolution to that foundation. What twist do you bring to it? Like, you don't have to be the best, but your footprint is your footprint.
Absolutely.
With it. So
You mentioned you also do voguing, and as we introduced in the very beginning, you are a member of House of Ninja.
We recruit. We always recruit.
I'm like I just recently graduated college, but one of my final projects for college, I did a research paper on Vogue.
Okay,
and
nice.
I think it was like 4 pages long that I solely was talking about House of Ninja and Willy Ninja. So
share it to us.
No.
Share it. Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes.
How did you get into voguing, and how did you specifically enter the world of House of Ninja? The iconic House of Ninja.
So I think voguing always has been around me somehow. I was working in Sweden. I was with people. I've met people from the House of Ninja. I was a huge fan, of course, of Javier Ninja, Marie Ninja. I always had ninjas around me. Even when I was just doing popping, I constantly had someone around me, like Eric Ninja. It always had a ninja around me, and it felt safe. It felt like I was getting the right foundation. It felt like I was getting the right info every time, and I liked that journey. But it was never like, okay, it's my goal to be a ninja. Not at all. For me, I was really admiring it, and I love the story. I love the history of the house, and you know the foundation of it. You know the legacy that you carry with Willy Ninja. And since I do turning style, for a while I was trying to understand the difference between turning from popping and arm control from voguing, which is very similar, you know. And for a while, so I did whacking too, and I loved more funk music. But there is a time I started loving Vogue beats. Like when I feel once you start falling in love for a music genre, you start falling for the dance too. I think it's hard to fall for the dance style without falling in love with the music, I think.
Absolutely. They're intertwined.
Yes, they're intertwined. So at first I was like, that crash, it gives me headaches, it's too much. But then somehow with time, like taking more voguing classes, being around more voguers, and learning more about the ballroom culture, I was like, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful culture. This is a beautiful community. And after that, so my mother, Dolores Ninja, that, you know, we kind of like, people confuse us all the time.
Yes, you do look so similar.
She's like, she's Italian, I'm French, so she's a really good friend of mine. And I got to learn more voguing from her, and then she told me, you know, in voguing, we have old way, and in old way there is popping. There is called pop, dip, and spin. And I was like, how? And what I love from street dance and those styles is all the journeys and the story that were before me. So I started digging and trying to understand how was the connection with breaking and popping with voguing. And I just did my research. I started training with certain people, and I went to New York, and I just really liked my journey, but I was not in a rush to be a ninja.
Right.
Like I just went with the flow. And then after that, Dolores asked me, she was like, do you want to come train with the ninja? It doesn't make you a ninja, but you can come train with us. And I just love the chapter that she created here, in LA. And I got to know Javier more. I got to know the ninjas in France. And then since I'm a very competitive person, like I love battling, she was like, well, if you want to become ninja, you need to be at the ball. You need to walk. You need to push yourself. And I like that challenge.
Yeah.
I like that challenge. So I was like, okay, let's do it. So I started going to different balls, like in Chicago, in Florida, any ball. I was like, I'm ready. I want to do it. And I know she sparked something in me. I was like, it got me feisty. It was like, okay, I want it. So, and I wanted it for different reasons, because I want to represent the legacy. I love, of course, the movement, but like the aesthetic of it. But beyond this, it's also you become an advocate. You become an ally, and that's really important. Like you are a voice for people, and love is love, and that's what you defend first. I come from a different time. I don't, I'm a French girl coming here, not from New York, but I'm here to listen and to represent. I want to represent the best way I can. And I think the best respect we can give is by representing it the best way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm still learning. I'm still a student. I'm still listening. I'm still,
specifically with voguing, I mean, the community is like one of the most beautiful things that I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. I personally have never had the pleasure of being able to attend a ball, but I've done a lot of.
You need to come. You need to walk.
I have done a lot of research on it, and it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Really, with the origins of how it came about, and just the protection of the community itself, the things that it stands for, the values, and the way that, despite all of the sacrifices and the hardships that have come face to face with the ballroom community, it continues to persevere. It continues to get bigger. It continues to reach more corners of the world and inspire people that are underprivileged and that have to fight for what they believe in and fight for, again, love is love, all of these things. It's really a style that, again, a lot of these styles in the street dance world stem from oppression, but specifically voguing and the ballroom scene is like one of the most perfect examples of that, and it's something that I personally respect so much.
Yeah, and I would love to see more, connection with like the battle world with the ballroom world.
Absolutely.
Like, it has so much similarities, you know. I mean, it's all different cultures too, but I've learned so much from both, you know, and it's so much that can be created more by sticking together. I
Absolutely.
think, yeah.
What is something that you wish people understood a little bit more about the ballroom / battling scene?
Yes. So you're gonna have to train. You're gonna have to train, and it's not about staying in a studio. Like, okay, I'm gonna book a studio from 2 to 4. I'm gonna practice my little cool voguing moves that I learned on TV or something. No, it's way beyond this.
Yes.
It's way beyond this. You have to accept that you're gonna have to pass that cap, and it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while between. You also have politics. You have people that don't like your style. You have people that say you do the foundation wrong. You have it's gonna be so much. You know, you're gonna have your behavior sometime in the way that you think you did good, but maybe you did whack. I mean, it's a lot. But the good thing is the battle and also in walking a ball. Those are improvised contests. So what I mean by that, you can plan as much as you want. I mean, be ready, yes. But you can plan as much as you want until you're on the floor. You don't know what's going to happen. And I think it's the beauty of it is the pure intuitive connection between you at that moment and the music. So you can feel good the whole week, and then the moment you're going to dance, you don't feel the music, you don't like the lights, you don't like I don't know, some things might not click, and you have to be okay with it.
Yeah.
So that's why I always tell people, like, yes, be ready, like train, surpass yourself, but also accept that you don't know what's going to happen in this moment. Most likely the days that I won battles or I won a ball, I mean, I don't walk that much, to be honest. I'm not as active as I should be. But when I was doing a lot of battles, like, I could feel those battles where I won. I knew I would do good. You know, you're in tune in that day. You're like, okay, I'm unstoppable today. It's like you feel like superhero, and embrace that. It's not an arrogance. It's just you feel good that day, and you feel in tune with yourself and who you are, and just surpass yourself, like surprise yourself. It's like you're looking at yourself and you're like, okay, today I'm tuning in and I'm gonna give my best. So yeah, train hard, and don't be scared to enter. Like, even if you do bad, like, that's how you figure out what you have to do. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that, I feel like even that advice applies to any other context of dance, especially when you have to perform, like a live performance. You never know what aspect is going to change the moment that you step on a stage. Like, even just in examples such as, like, you've been rehearsing for months for this performance, and then the second you put on a costume, it's uncomfortable, and the whole entire thing changes because of what you're wearing, or the lights were super bright, or they were too dark and I couldn't see. Like, there's so many factors that influence your performance in a specific moment. So you being in tune and just knowing that you're gonna outperform yourself that day is the most important thing.
But you know, my performance at World of Dance, like 2 years ago, I didn't want to go on stage anymore. And I've been performing almost my whole life. I was with my friend, I was like, I can't breathe, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I don't want to go no more, because I was on heels, I had a dress, the song I was not sure, I was mixing some popping with voguing. I'm like, nah, the song is old. I started getting very insecure, and I almost cried. I was like, I don't want to go on stage anymore. I don't think I'm gonna go. And you see it at the beginning of my performance, like how nervous I was, like, because I kind of prepped it in my head, but not much. And I was like, damn, I'm still getting nervous after all these years. And the video went really well. You know, it got a lot of views. I got a lot of love on it. But I was very nervous. So it's never going to go away. Even when you're going to enter battle, it's never going to go away. It's like, I think it's a healthy stress.
It is a healthy stress. I feel like a lot of artists, even that have a lot more experience and are deeper into their careers, I've heard so many people say that the second that you're not stressed anymore, or you're not concerned about that you shouldn't be dancing anymore, because that's kind of like what keeps fueling you throughout your, because it's really like about your craft, and the nerves are directly related to just you wanting to do well and outperform yourself. So the second that that's not there anymore, it's important to like acknowledge why it's not there. You've had a lot of experience in the industry. We mentioned some crazy people that you've had the privilege to work with. Can you walk us through one of your favorite experiences in the industry?
I have so many cool ones. But to be honest with you, my best experience on a human level were not necessarily with a big name artist or a movie or something. It was when I was with a very cool cast on a super cool country with a nice culture and good vibe and getting treated well. Those gigs or those experiences were maybe less prestigious in a term of name, but I keep always the best memories. Like one time I did a tour in Japan with a whole cast of very like amazing street dancers, but like we were not dancing for an artist but we had so much fun. Like we toured the best cities in Japan. We were treated really well, getting paid really well. We were the main artist in the show, in the theater show, but those like it stays with me forever, and I do have good memories with big artists too. It's just not as vivid, It's like, okay, it was cool, it was fun, it was a good experience. But certain, yes, of course, it was iconic. Like when I got to work with Madonna, because I look up to her since I was 4. It was crazy. Even though you don't see me much in the music video, it's okay. But the fact that she acknowledged me. Like one time she just mentioned my name and I was like, whoa, wow. That was fun. So little things like this is very vivid in my head and that's what got me going. What else? I have so many. I'm trying to think the most iconic ones. I think one good memory was a movie that I did that was called Street Dance. That was my first gig. That was my first big gig. And I got there. Rich and Tone put me on this, so I'll always be grateful for them because they really started my career. But they saw me in a battle, so that's why I'm saying like you never know where you're gonna be seen. And they remembered me from a battle, and then I saw them at a battle called Just the Boo, and they told me to come to the casting. And for the casting, I danced 45 seconds, and they were like, "Okay, you got it," because it was meant to be, and it was cool. And then on the job, I was nervous. I was so nervous. I think this, I was new to this, and it's the first one that shifted my life was this one. And I have so many cool ones. Like The Weeknd was cool because Nina McNally, amazing choreographer.
Great fan.
And I love how it was very natural. It was just flowing. Like, hey, you want to do this gig? Like, sure.
Wow.
And you're going to be lifted in the air. Are you cool with that? Yeah, sure. And that's when it's nice is I like to do gigs that going to teach me something new.
Push you out of your comfort zone.
Like if I have to do aerial, if I have to dance with fire, I love this.
Yeah.
I love this.
Absolutely.
I think that's how you grow, because what's the point of just doing a gig that's going to be the same that you've done before?
Absolutely.
It's short. Like, our dance career is so short, so make the best out of it, I think.
100%.
Yeah.
You've had so many experiences in all of these different styles within the industry itself. How do these work experiences change depending on the style that you're doing? Are there like specific differences where it's like, if I'm popping specifically for this gig versus for this gig I'm specifically voguing, are there major differences that you notice?
That's a really good point. And like for people that's really important. Like they use that, like, know that you have already so much with your own style. I think sometimes we can tend to belittle ourselves because we just do only one style. It's not because you do only one style and you're good at it that you cannot open yourself to other styles. When we talk about contemporary, it means current, right? I mean, from my understanding, it has a whole technique behind it. I get it.
Absolutely.
But you still, study contemporary and mix it with your style. And it's been jobs like, for example, the job with The Weeknd. Like, I remember Nina telling me for my solo, she was like, I don't want really popping right now. I just want you to be free and explode and be a little bit like an alien, like evil and da-da-da. So she wanted me to be a character. And my subconscious was like, no, what you do the best is popping and your foundation and you twist or flex to the left and blah, like I could feel it. It's kind of, I could sense it in the back of my head, like a voice telling me that, like. And then we did one take where I was like, F it, like just go for it, like just go for it, explode, be a creature, you know. Then you use your technique in another environment, and it's okay, like allowing ourselves to be creatures more than dancers sometimes. And choosing the styles, like let's say they would book me somewhere I have to do maybe more Vogue or tutting or something. Like I would always try to incorporate both or offer them the options. Be like, hey, I can also do this, I can also do that. And I see sometimes dancers, they limit themselves, like they have so much knowledge, but because they're not legit in one style, they don't want to showcase it. Like as long as you don't teach it, I think it's okay. Like if you're asked to do house and maybe you're not the pioneer in house, it's okay. Do it anyway. Like we're not the creators of it.
Yeah.
So why we put so much pressure? The teaching, yes, is important to make sure we pass the right thing. But beyond that, like just dance, take a movement, and even for the job, it's the same thing. Like try stuff. You know, if you are on a shoot and you want to try to throw some whacking, but throw some whacking. It's okay. It's fine. Like who's gonna judge you?
Yeah.
So that's the fun part, I think, of a job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, no one's 100% perfect in any style. No. So
what would be the point?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If we could all do it perfectly, then there would be no dance. It would be everyone could do it. It wouldn't be as important.
It would be boring.
We wouldn't be able to find that skill within what we do.
Yeah.
With your experience learning all of these styles, are there I know you touched on this a little bit earlier, but are there any specific mentors that you are a huge fan of that you feel like really shaped who you are now?
So my first mentor, Pandora, of course, queen of tutting, hands down. Like beyond being a great mentor, I don't think I had a mentor when it comes to movements, but I had different support system, and she's definitely one when it comes to tutting. I have another one. His name is Tabo. He taught me animation. So for people who know, Tabo is like, I think I got solid foundation thanks to him. I think, definitely. And what I love about the people who guide me through, they never try to take ownership on me. And I think that's where you're a great mentor, or you're surrounded by great people when they don't try to own you, when they don't try to take credit or stop you, like, hey, I made you, you're my student, don't go somewhere else. Never. I never wanted that. So it could be good to have that one mentor that give you all the foundation, but I always being very free person. Like I like to go and train with different people and exchange. I have an exchange with different dancers around the world, and then I make my own mix. I think it's sometimes you're more intuitive in this way.
Absolutely.
Like you trust more your instincts throughout your career, I think.
It's definitely, that's like, I'm so happy to hear you say that, and say that the best mentors are those that don't try to take ownership of you.
And it's hard because sometimes, like, I teach people too, and sometimes I have students with me for a long time, and then they get busy with something, and you have your ego is like, but you have to let it go. Like if you have to be okay with what you pass. You have to be okay with, like, okay, I'm teaching. From the minute I'm teaching it, I need to be okay with people using your move or using your vibe or your choreography or
at the end of the day, you are the one passing down the information. So
and my mentor, I used to copy her. Like, I didn't know her, but I used to copy her sequences. and then I knew it was wrong. I was like, but I need to find that's why we got taught, back in the days, like, you need to find your own touch to it. So absolutely. So
I mean, but it's also like there's only so many sequences in the world. So, like, inevitably you'll end up doing a set of steps that someone has potentially done before, even if you personally feel like you made this up.
Yeah.
Maybe there's someone in the world that has maybe done that certain 3 steps in that same sequence at some point or another.
Exactly.
And we see it all the time. Like, we see it even in social media where, like, people will be like, oh, like, that's my choreography. And this other person will be like,
oh, you
I've
have
never
straight biters
seen
too, though. Let's be real. You have people that straight up bite and they don't care. But you leave them with the comma.
Right. Period. Do you have any advice for people who are trying to get into popping, voguing, whacking, street styles that might be a little bit more intimidated by these styles?
Don't be scared to reach out. Don't be scared to reach out to the other generations. Listen to the roots, like listen to the people who created it, you know, because it's always beautiful story that's going to give you why to do that, because it's going to make you understand the groove behind the movement, the flow behind the movement. Train, practice, like all the time. I think it's the thing, like wake up, make an hour every day, I'm going to practice popping every day. As I'm telling you, I'm telling myself, I'm like, damn, I haven't trained popping in a minute right now. Like, you know, be a student constantly. Like, what I love about this is, like, even I've been around for so long and I'm still wondering sometimes, like, I'm watching dancers, I'm like, how does he do that? Like, you know, stay amazed. Stay amazed by talent, stay amazed by the technique, stay curious, you know, and put your little twist to it right away.
Absolutely.
Like, even if it's ugly, even if people are going to criticize it, put your twist to it. You yourself will know what feels right and what's it right. And I think beyond this, for dancers in general, not only for foundation styles, find also your platform of empowerment. I think that's important. We all have a platform that's going to show us at our best, that's going to make us shine. For some people, it's been the battle, right? For me, for instance, it was the battle. Like, I think battling, I got gigs from it. I could just be my full self. So that worked for me. Video goes viral. It was not even the point at that time. Now I know it's very important. But for other people, it's something else. For other people, their platform of empowerment is going to be taking classes, killing someone's choreography, and that works for them. For someone else, it's going to be about making a lot of TikTok videos, and that's fine. That's their niche. That's where they feel seen. Let them. You know, like someone else going to be maybe the solo performance at World of Dance. You know, someone else is going to be being a tour dancer. Just embrace where you are seen at your best self.
Absolutely.
You know, and somehow capitalize on it. It doesn't mean you cannot go somewhere else. It doesn't mean that you cannot do something else. But don't beat yourself if, let's say, you do battles and you're never seen, you never pass prelims, you get nervous, you don't feel good. It doesn't mean you're a bad dancer. It doesn't mean popping, whacking, voguing is not, it's not for you. No. You can go home and maybe like start a, social media account, and you can, on social media, what I like is you can see your evolution.
Yeah.
You know, you can watch your video from today, and if you do it for yourself, like from 2 weeks ago, you're like, okay, my arm control got better, cool. Like, yeah. Embrace your platform of empowerment. I think
absolutely. That was incredible advice, especially as someone that, is interested in some of these things. That's like really great advice. I will be taking it.
Yeah. Or create your own platform.
Right.
Like, I feel like right now, okay, what do we have? We have the battle. We have the solo performance. We have the social media. We have the tour dancers. What else? Maybe there is a platform for dancers that hasn't been done yet, where you can showcase yourself. Just saying.
Absolutely.
There's always room for creation.
Amazing. So. It's time for my favorite part of the podcast, which is let's manifest some things for you.
Ooh.
That you would like to do, whether it be a job, a specific artist you would like to work for, a project that you would like to create, maybe you want to throw a ball yourself, or you want to host a battle yourself. What's a dream project for you?
Ooh, so many. Thank you for manifesting this for me. I think if something to manifest for me would be that anything I'm gonna go for, because now I really want to be a choreographer for full out. The battle scene, I love it, but I think I'm done. I really want to choreograph. I want to choreograph for artists, for shows. I would love to choreograph for Victoria's Secret show, and choreograph models, and so many projects within being just on the other side now. Mm-hmm. And I would love to be able to put now the new generation on jobs, like that would be so cool, like for commercials or for shows, etc. But I think the best for that, I hope to do that in a good environment, with like a healthy environment, with good people around me, like a good memory.
Yes.
I want those projects. Maybe they're not going to be as big as maybe Victoria's Secret, who knows, but I just want to have a good time. I don't care if it's like the name is not as big. I want the process to be fun. I want the people I'm going to work with to have a good memory with me, and have a good time. If it's not enjoyable, I just don't want it.
Yeah.
And then beyond this, I would like to create my own show. I want to make my own show.
Like an evening length show?
Yes. So if you're interested, just hit me up. But yeah, that's my
first.
That's my
Marie's
upcoming
show
project.
is coming soon.
Yes.
To a stage near you.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. It has been a pleasure to be able to sit down and have this conversation with you. I'm a huge fan, as I've mentioned like 30,000 times throughout this podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Go ahead and look into the camera and let the people know where they can find you. If you teach, where can they take your class? Let them know.
Guys, so I'm teaching actually at What Summit. So come to the class. That's my only workshop in LA. Then I'm going to be overseas. And then you can reach me on my social media on Mary Poppins Dancer. And just write me. Let's stay in touch and keep popping.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Inside HQ. We will catch you on the next one. Bye, guys.